Hi, Linda Sessions here, and we're going to talk about Module 3 or Week 3 in computer applications. So let's jump into Canvas and see what's going on in Module 3. So here we go. We are continuing in Excel. So last week we started in Excel with chapters 1 and 2 in the textbook, as well as that time management spreadsheet. So hopefully you have a better idea of how to spend your time during the week to get everything done. And let me tell you, every week I always looking at my time and trying to figure out how to get everything done. And some weeks are better than others, isn't that true? So this week in Excel, in computer applications, you're continuing on in Excel. So the discussion board question is, how do you like Excel? Is it something that you use a lot in your work? Is it something that you're never going to use again? Do you find it difficult, really hard? What did you think of it? There are videos on the YouTube playlist for all 3 of the assignments this week. There is reading right here. Now, this Excel tips reading, excuse me, if I select this, it's going to take me right into some Excel tips. I can read it right here in Canvas, or I can download it. If I select this right here, it's going to download it to my computer. You can see right up here. If I select that, here's my table of contents. What you're going to be doing in the assignments this week is also covered right here in the reading, like merging cells, adding a picture in Excel, how to transpose or flip the data. You're going to be doing that with the M&M chart. Removing grid lines, changing the chart size, moving a chart around. All of that is right here in the text. Now, a lot of the text where I received this from is a website called Online Learning at GCF Global, which is Goodwill Community Foundation. And I actually used to use this for my textbook. There's a lot of basic information on a lot of things other than even just the Microsoft Office programs. So check that out. Check out this text. It will actually go over a lot of the information that you need to know to complete the assignments here in Module 3. But if you click on the assignments in here in the Module 3, if I click on this first one, which is the M&M chart. Now, one of the things it tells you is you're going to create a spreadsheet, a column chart, and a pie chart, comparing colors and quantities of 3 different types of items. Now, I use M&Ms. You don't have to go out and buy M&Ms if you don't want to. I actually use, I think, chocolate M&Ms, or the plain M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, and peanut butter M&Ms. I actually went out and I bought 3 different packages and I counted them, and that's how I got my data for this. You can use Skittles if you want to. You can use any type of candies if you want to, or you can do some research on the internet. They actually have a percentage of colors that are supposed to be in each package of M&Ms. Who knew, right? So you don't have to go out and buy anything extra for this assignment. But if you want to have some fun, go out and buy 3 different types of M&Ms or 3 different types of candies to do it. So right up here, there are tabs. Here's the YouTube help. Right here is a video that I created actually doing the assignment. Now, this assignment only covers creating the table and the bar chart. You also need to create the pie chart. So don't just go directly off of this video for this assignment, make sure that you also include the pie chart. And I tell you right here, make sure you follow the written instructions for the pie chart. So here's the instructions for creating and formatting a table. You can select that right there. Here's the instructions for the column chart, the pie chart, how to format the page, and then here's a sample of the final and what your final might look like. And then also here's a PDF where if you want to just download the instructions right here so you have them in one big PDF file, you can do it right there. Each of these assignments is set up in a similar format. So this is where you're going to be comparing M&Ms. You're going to be using formulas to get the totals across the bottom and down on the row across the bottom and then in the column here. So you're going to be using formulas. We've already done that a little bit. And then you're going to create a column chart and a pie chart. So that's one assignment here. The next assignment, I'm just going to click on this. Oh, and then there's a rubric. Tells you exactly how I'm going to be grading it, what I'm looking for. It's worth 20 points. The next assignment here is the budgeting assignment. So what you're going to be doing with this one is you're going to pretend that you have $5,000 to use to fill your apartment, your brand new apartment. How are you going to spend that money? And you need to budget for items like kitchen supplies, furniture, maybe a game room, maybe some food, but you're going to use Excel to create your budgeting spreadsheet. Now, for those of you in the interior design program, this is where I got the idea for this assignment. Think about if you are creating, you have a client that wants you to fill their house with furniture and they want you to fill their bedroom, their dining room, and their living room, and you have to create a spreadsheet and include pictures and links to the websites as well as costs, but you have a limited income. So here is a YouTube help video again. You can just click on that and it takes you to the YouTube video. Here is the steps on how to create your Excel spreadsheet. Talks right here about how to do your online shopping. Now it tells you you have to purchase at least 10 items. I want to see at least 10 items on the worksheet. And you're going to include at least 4 pictures. And I want them resized to fit within that row. Now you're going to have to make the rows a little bigger so the pictures aren't going to be like a ½ inch, right? I mean, a ¼ of an inch. They're going to be a little bit bigger. You're going to format your spreadsheet and add formulas and a graph to your spreadsheet. And then you're going to save it and submit it. So here is a copy of what your final spreadsheet might look like. You can see I have my budget up here at the top. Each of my areas I've colored a different color. I've got my apartments, and right here is my apartment furniture. Right here in this area right here, my furniture cost, I've used a formula. Right here, I have a URL that takes me right to that website. So I can click on that and it's going to take me right to that website. And you can see I don't have a big old huge URL. I only have just the name of the store. I've got 4 pictures. Right here, I've got my kitchen appliances and my kitchen cost. I've got some clothing cost. Didn't put the websites in for my clothing, so I'm going to get marked off for that. And I've got some miscellaneous. I decided, hey, I'm buying a house, I need a lawnmower. Then I've got my overall total. My overall total is just these individual costs added up down here, and then my remaining budget, which is my budget minus my overall total. And then I've got my cost categories, which is a pie chart showing my individual grouping costs in a pie chart. So make sure you pay attention to the written instructions. Watch that YouTube video. That will really help you a lot as well. If you want to see just all of the instructions in one sheet, right here is a PDF document. The next assignment in class is the Prime Cuts nutrition chart. And this is where you're going to be comparing the nutritional information on a group of items from Prime Cuts Steakhouse. So again, here is a YouTube video where I go over the assignment and explain what's going on with it. You're going to compare the data table. You're going to use some formulas for calculation. You're going to be formatting the table, creating a bar chart for that table. And again, the very last one, here is what your final table should look like. Again, you're going to be creating formulas for your non-fat calories as well as your percentage of calories. You're going to be formatting it to look like this, and then you're going to be creating a bar chart as well. And then there is a PDF of those instructions. So everything you need to complete those 3 assignments is right there in Module 3. So you've got your checklist here. There's discussion board. How do you like Excel? There's a link here to the YouTubes if you want the Excel tips, but the YouTube videos are also embedded within the instructions within each 3 of these assignments. Now, as always, I am here. If you need me, just reach out and ask questions. I will get back with you as soon as I can. Have a great week. Have some fun with Excel this week, and make sure if you go out and buy M&Ms to do your M&M chart that you count and organize your data before you start eating it. Have a great week. Bye.